Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44. Coming up to another video, eating breakfast. Sorry about that. Piece of turkey bacon. So, yeah, I don't know, man. You sit up and you want to get upset about certain things. For what? So I'm sitting up watching a segment of Skip Bayless responding to Russell Westbrook and, the whole situation about wanting to be able to continue to, use the Westbrook statement. And, I'm listening to him. He's saying I've been criticizing this man since 2012, and you know what I mean. It's one of those situations where he's really expressing himself in a way that it's just like makes me scratch my head. I'm like, you really are fighting for the right to insult this man when his wife has come to you and said that their children are frustrated and are receiving grief at school because of it. And the best thing you can say is, well, everybody else is saying it too, so I should be able to say it. That's the best thing. That's the best you can do. And so then I look in the comment section and I realize he's a reflection of them. It's just a reflection of them. If they were better, he would be better. He's doing what the numbers dictate he should do. And I have to remind myself that when I look at a lot of this stuff and get frustrated, because I'm like, all of this energy is bad. I don't vibe with it at all. It's bad. It seeps into my spirit and makes me unhappy. But then I look at the people who are reacting to it and it makes them very happy. I'm looking at the people who are into it and they're pleased and the numbers reflect that. So I just realized I'm in the wrong place. I need to move myself out of the situation. This is not for me. You know what I mean? If I like to wear the color green and everybody in the room is wearing the color black, guess where I'm at? I'm in the wrong spot. So that's what it really comes down to, man. I just had to remove myself from that. I was finding myself unhappy. I found myself, really taking on the energy as I would as if it were talking about myself. You gotta stop that. You gotta protect your energy. You know what I mean? And this ain't limited to just what I was watching. This is anything. If it doesn't vibe with you, it makes you unhappy, or if the vibe is something that you don't want to feel, maybe not necessarily unhappiness, but whatever you just don't want, just remove yourself from it. Because what you end up doing is allowing it to mess with your energy, mess with your spirit, mess with how you're feeling. Have you frowning at your screen for what? I don't want to frown at my screen. The people who are enjoying that are not frowning at their screen. The people who are meant for that, they're not unhappy. With that being said, I've expressed my unhappiness with that before in previous videos. Only from the standpoint of once someone says that children have been affected, that's when I draw the line and say I'm good. I don't need to embark on that. Now, certain different types of minds, they have a different way of looking at things. Maybe they have a different point of view on that. That's cool. I'm not telling you what you should and should not be involved in or want to involve yourself in. But for myself, I don't like it. I was a child who was teased a lot as a kid. I was someone who had to deal with a lot of bad energy that affects me to this very day. So I have a different way of taking that in. Maybe in your household you were put in a different mindset. Maybe the opposite way should be, taken to that type of energy. And I respect that people are different. Like, some people like dark humor. Some people like jokes that are supposed to be cruel, to others. Some people are into all kinds of stuff that just won't do it for me. So as I grow older, learn who I am, learn what I'm into, learn what battles to fight, which battles not to. And that's what I think of the situation as far as trying to protect my energy. So, at the end of the day, I just feel like we all have to fight our own battles. We all have to run our own businesses. And when I see stuff like that, on its surface, it looks really, really bad. But behind the scenes, for all I know, everybody's happy. You know what I mean? So when you go out on a limb and say, yo, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing, you got to understand that there could be some things behind the scenes that make it so that what you're seeing ain't even real, like at all. And so that also tempers my anger or frustration or what have you. About certain things. Just growing up in Hollywood, knowing that things are not as they seem a lot of the time when you see things on the camera, which kind of fuels me to be as forthcoming and as authentic as I can be, because I believe I'm naturally reacting to that. Like, that's my natural reaction to all the fakeness and all the misdirection that I've seen in my life. Now I just want to be ridiculously transparent, ridiculously raw, you know what I mean, so to speak. But nevertheless, it's looking, as I look at what I saw there, and just seeing him continue to fight for the right to engage in this type of conversation. I just legitimately hope that conversations are being had behind the scenes that would make it so that everybody can be all right. Because if it's as bad as it seems, I've seen situations like this that just don't stay cool. They don't stay, you know what I mean? Not to put anything in the air, but I've just seen how situations like this turn into other types of stuff, and I don't particularly feel comfortable knowing that, you know, these are two entities that I grew up appreciating. Russell Westbrook, I've been watching him play basketball for years. Obviously, came to my team, struggled. This is why all this is happening. If he would have played better, none of this happens. A lot of that's within his control, et cetera, et cetera. I hear that side of the fence. On the other side, Skip Bayless, somebody I've been watching for years, probably longer than Russell Westbrook, you know what I mean, since cold pizza days, you know what I mean, and a lot of what I do, it's probably been taken from the rhythm of watching him do what he does. I probably don't even speak the way I do if I didn't watch Skip. So it's like, it's not that I'm disliking the man or anything like that. It's just that when you get to a certain point in your life, 37, 38 years of age, you start engaging in certain types of conversations, trying to get involved in the business, so to speak. I just pride myself on not doing what I do for others solely. You know what I mean? It's like, when I lay my head down at night, I want to know that whether you were paying attention to what I was doing or not, I didn't put something out there that I could not live with. You know what I mean? And maybe I've failed at that sometimes, to be honest with you. I don't know if I've gotten that right. I don't know that I have. But what I'm saying is it's the intent. So when I see Skip Bayless, someone who has more than once proclaimed himself to be a Christian man, right? And I know Christianity goes a lot of different ways. It's a lot of different ways of viewing this, a lot of different stuff that people do in the name of Christianity that ain't all that great, and we don't dispute that truth. But what I'm saying is he prides himself on being a Christian man. This isn't good energy coming from somebody who calls himself a Christian man. This is not what you want to see from somebody who says they're devout in that way. Bullying? And look, it's only bullying if the person defines it as bullying. If they say they're cool, it's fine. But once the other party says, yo, this is affecting my well-being, my mindset, my children, would you please stop? You're piling on. We're asking you to stop. And then you proceed to fight for your right to continue to do this for whatever reason. It's like, look, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. For all I know, Russell Westbrook spit in your food one time. Now you got a vendetta against him that none of us need to know about, but you're going to keep on doing publicly. I don't know. This kind of stuff could happen. But you got to respect the fact that we don't see any of that. And it looks a certain way to people like myself who pay close attention, who practically was raised on what it is that you do. So it's like, I'm disappointed. And then it's the perception and the space of what people can call racism. I don't like that for him as somebody who has appreciated what he does on TV for a long time, who doesn't think of that this way. This brings the presence of that to hang over one's head. Even if you want to deny, even if it's like, no, Brandon, don't think that way about Skip, because Skip ain't like that. The presence of such becomes present because of this energy. And I don't think that's a conversation he even wants to kind of have attached to his name, because of some of the stances that he's taken completely against that over the years. But nevertheless, it's how it looks. I'm telling you. It brings that into the conversation to where it will become uncomfortable, not only for people like myself, but for people who will want to actively be angry at me for bringing that into the conversation. It becomes a situation where people have to take sides in some conversations, in some rooms, where it becomes, well, no, he's not. Yes, he is. It's like, I always try to make people understand how I view creating environments. You know, like, if, for example, cheating. Once you walk in the room with that person that ain't your significant other, you've already crossed the line. Now, whatever happens after that, it's levels. But once you get yourself in that situation where it's possible, you've already gone too far. And that's how I think you don't create the environments for certain things to happen. I ain't gonna create the environment for you to see me as something that I don't want to be seen, because that It's going to make you question whether or not what you see in me is what I'm showing you. And that's exactly what I'm saying. For the numbers, for the deadlines or whatever, the benchmarks would be a better way of putting it, for what his show and what his content's supposed to be doing, I believe he's betraying all of that. Just like many others. He ain't not alone. In fact, he's a part of Rome. But what I'm saying, that practice, it is very tired, man. And that's what I've talked about in a lot of different ways over the last couple of weeks. It's just the saturation of nonsense that I see as it pertains to people doing things just to get numbers. Music is watered down, as people have complained about for many years. TV content, people are just acting crazy, doing whatever the hell just to get seen. People hurting themselves in certain situations to be seen. And this is that. Because when you show yourself to be a certain way, it reflects poorly upon you. Yes, your audience is watching you, but so are people who are not fans. We're all watching. It's not just the people in the comment section who are rooting this crap on. It's the people outside of that who are a little further out looking at that saying, seriously, bro? As they're all cheering, hovered around him, it's a million people behind them looking at you like, seriously, bro? Didn't she just tell you that her kids were like literally being harassed because of this nonsense? Like, I just want people to understand that. You got to zoom out. You know, this stuff is going to be found long after the people who are watching are paying attention. This stuff is still going to be floating around 15, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when the world doesn't view things the same way, when the world has changed a million different ways, this stuff is still stuck in the cloud to be found. And I'm telling you, man, you get too caught up into today's people, but those aren't the only people you're affecting with the things that you put out into this earth. It's a different time now. And I feel like bad energy is going to be seen differently. It's going to be seen differently. As these trolls die out, as these racists die out, as these bigots die out, it's going to be a new generation of people who are going to still be clicking on some of the same stuff, and they're going to be looking at this stuff in a different way, and your legacy is going to be affected by it in a different way. And I'm not only talking to Skip, I'm talking to any and everybody putting out nonsense just for the people alive today to hover around and pay money to. It is not going to age well. A whole lot of it is not going to age well. Morals age well. Respect age well. Love age well. Hate, bigotry, bullying, that stuff doesn't age well. Because it's received the same kind of way. Tense. No matter how you receive the language, no matter how you listen to tones, the energy itself is going to be received. Animals can tell when something's bad. They can smell fear. They can feel danger. They can smell hate, all of that. It doesn't even have to be reciprocated through words. So what I'm telling you, that stuff bleeds through. It bleeds through. And it's going to be a lot of people who take well to it. They're running toward whatever they're running toward. But it's going to be people who don't. And they're going to be the ones affected by it the most. I guarantee you. It's the ones who don't vibe with it that take the most from it. Take it for what it's worth, man. I think energy is a boomerang. So you know what I think in regards to that. It comes back. And I don't think it's going to be pretty for any of us. Karma ain't going to be pretty for myself. For all the bad things I've done, karma ain't going to be pretty for myself. And that is what I refer to in regards to karma. Me and what I got coming. As far as anybody and anybody else in their situation, listen, that is between you and your maker. But I'm telling you, I am not rooting for anybody to fail when I say, y'all better start understanding that today is not the only thing that matters. And when you start doing things that make you look as bad as he looked to me, I guarantee you that energy is going to be felt for 1,000,000 years. Anybody who finds that crap in the clouds is going to understand that this man was bullying this man only to affect the moment he was in positively. Short-sighted and ultimately a waste. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.